I'm gonna go out there. I'm always gonna have to be the sour sport controversial guy on our show between us three, me, you, and Britt Norbz. So let's say it. We're getting bounced out of the first round again this year. This is the reason why. This is the reason why, Leafs Nation, we're gonna get bounced out of the first round again.
And boom goes the dynamite.
All right, guys, let's go on to the next topic. I'm just laughing, guys, because I was getting my hat again, and Norbz will know. It's a funny story. It's a funny story that we can share in the future, guys. But yes, all right, now we're talking about the Leafs. This is Sir Norbz's topic. Maple Leafs hockey. He loves his Leafs and his hockey topic. Norbz, let's get right to it, man. Topic number one. Very quiet on the trade front for the Leafs Nation, Norbz. What do you think? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Tree Living didn't make any moves. It's pretty quiet. Got some good moves, little pieces, but what do you think, man?
Well, I think it's a good thing. I think that the Leafs are in a good place right now. They're third in the Atlantic, and they've been playing exceptionally well. They've had a few days break. They beat the Montreal Canadiens last game, but they've struggled through the a couple of games with the Boston Bruins. But so far, I think they're in a good spot right now. The defensive wise, there's still some challenges there, but I think they'll figure it out. They are well experienced enough to do this, continue this playoff push. And there's a lot of challenges along the way for them. So yeah, I mean it's a good thing. They don't really need to pick up some pieces, but draft picks would have been nice. But so far it's okay. They're in a good spot.
Yeah, like forgive me, Norris. We're the people that during the draft they picked up Joel Edmondson. He's a pretty good player. He was we got in the trade. And other players, I believe we got a couple others. They're not like big names. I don't know if you know the names that we got in the trade. I'm trying to look it up right now. Kyle Clifford, I believe we got as well at the trade deadline.
Yeah, prospects more or less. Yeah.
Oh my God, I forget Simon Benoit. I don't know if he was like in the trade. Yeah, or no, he was just bumped out of the lineup. Okay, so you got Edmondson, Kyle Clifford, a couple of other trades. They're really quiet. No big splashes, right? Norris, Brad Shrew been playing it carefully, I guess. I'm saying I think what we really needed was more like I see a defenseman who's not elite, but a defenseman who's physical. Now, unless I'm wrong, so correct me, Norbz, or Tea Time viewers, if we have enough physical defensemen as it is, but defense is never like we can't lock for more physical defensemen. So I think we need maybe a one or two more physical. But I heard we did get a bunch of muckers. I think Edmonton's one of those muckers. We had Kyle Clifford; they can muck it out. So I mean, yeah. What are you going to do? Get a Connor McDavid in the trade deadline? Can we get a Nathan McKinnon? No. So I mean, in a way, I wish Tree Living did kind of make one big splash, maybe a goalie. I do trust Wall and Samson is playing on his mind, by the way, right now.
We're happy. He's proved lately, yes.
But I'm kind of wondering how many good goalies are left. The days of great goalies are gone, I think, is saturated. Or it's like, who do we got now? Who are the top goalies? Vasilevsky, after him, who's left after him? I can't even think of one. Like Binnington?
Skinner, Binnington, yeah, they're
Skinner?
veterans.
Did you just say Skinner?
Stuart Skinner. I mean, he struggled. I think he struggled in the beginning of the year, and he's picked it up for the Oilers.
We're not talking about the Oilers. It's not Oilers hockey. It's Leafs hockey, right? On Tea Time. But I mean, Skinner, like, unless he's having one of the most luckiest, like, luck of the Irish here, man. I mean,
Oilers grit is like, yeah, they've been playing well. They went on a 16-game winning streak, and they're keep pushing it. They're pushing it out.
Not real quickly.
Playoff run here.
There's nothing against Skinner. Norbz, real quickly. He's a good goalie. I'm not saying he's a scrub, and probably a nice guy. I never know or met the guy, but he's probably a great guy. Not talking about his character or anything like that, or as a goalie. He's very talented, but I mean, elite level, we'll see. He's playing great now, but we'll see next year and 2 years from now if he can keep it up, like Vasilevsky or Binnington can. But yeah, agree to disagree on that one, Norbz. Let's go to question number 2. Leafs signed Bobby McMann to a 2-year contract extension. Pretty one of the core, not the core, but one of the solid role players we needed to re-sign. What do you think of Bobby McMann's 2-year contract extension?
Pretty good. I think that he's 27 years old. He's got 10 goals and 18 points so far in 40 games. I think he's going to be a good good support system for the Leafs and for the playoffs and for the playoffs push. He's a decent player. I think that the contract will serve him well. He's 18 points plus 6 in 40 games. So playing primarily in the team's bottom 6, and even though he's playing in the team's bottom 6, that's pretty good. And it's a good support system. He's he could be a clutch guy in the lineup. So decent signing for a young man in Mcmann.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is why I'm glad you're here. Forgive me, Leafs fans and Tea Time viewers. I watch my hockey. I'm a big hockey fan. I don't know. I never heard of this guy. I missed out. I mean, my fault. If we get him in the trade deadline, I just heard of him. And I was like, hey, I was like thinking, what can Norbz and I talk about topic? And I typed in Toronto Maple Leafs, Googled it, and this guy was trending. So my apologies. But I did do a research on him a couple days ago. Yeah, he's one of those big forwards that's a good, good defensive instincts, big body, physical, someone that can get in gritty in front of the goalie to screen for Matthews, Marner, and Tavares and Nylander. So yeah, it's everyone seems to love this guy. So to me, once again, my apologies, guys. I never heard of this guy until I typed in Toronto Maple Leafs. So Mr. McMann, Bobby, prove me wrong. Start destroying everybody in the playoffs, because damn it, Tommy Lee did not hear about me. I'm upset now. But I mean, everyone loves it.
Decent signing, more or less. He will blossom as a NHL player.
Yeah, Tea Time viewers, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of Bobby McMann's tour extension. Supposedly, everyone's Leafs fan base and Leafs Nation loves it. The reports and online articles and comments. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'll go with that. So I'm just going to give that to you or that topic, because unfortunately, once again, I never heard of the guy until I Google Leafs.
At least you're honest, my friend.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it in the comments. But positive, constructive, guys, okay? Let's go with the last topic, Norbz, with the Leafs. So, last push for the NHL playoffs. What do you think? We've been up and down. We lost the Bruins twice, which wasn't good. Bruins seem to have our number, but we're always going up and down. Win streak, lose streak, win streak, lose streak. Reports are we're going to make the playoffs no matter what now. So just got to win a couple more games. We're in the playoffs. Tough for us to get bounced out of the playoffs. What do you think this last push? What do you think is going to happen in the playoffs?
I think it's going to be a challenging last several games. As I can see here on the schedule, they're only facing one more Western Conference team in this stretch in March and in April. They're only going to face the Edmonton Oilers in the West side, but the rest of the games are against Eastern Conference teams, and one of those teams could be their opponent coming into the first round of the playoffs. The stretch run is on. They're they got to grind, and playing against the Eastern Conference seems to be a challenge for them. So I think this is a test of their will and their fortitude to prove themselves as a playoff contender. I mean, they got a whole bunch of Eastern Conference teams to worry about. They got Carolina, they got Philadelphia, Washington, Jersey, Buffalo, Florida, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and again, Florida and Tampa Bay. One of those teams could be their opponent in the playoffs. And the stretch drive is on. The crunch time is on for the Leafs. So they hopefully they won't end up as a wild card team. I'm hoping that they can get away from that and just probably be in the middle of the pack. They might not be able to chase Boston, but it's a test right now. Come from this day on up until April 17th, the last game against Tampa Bay. It's gonna be a rush to get there.
After listening to that, Norbz, beautiful soliloquy. Rarely do you make beautiful soliloquies. Mostly you're wrong all the time. I'm kidding. But that was your spot on. You were beautiful. It was a beautiful soliloquy. Norbz, loved it. Like Norbz said, guys, I love to see the Oilers in the Eastern Conference. If the Leafs and Oilers could switch. Love to see how Edmonton would do against these powerhouse teams. We are just cursed, Norbz and Leafs Nation, about the first round. Who are we going to have? Boston, Tampa, Florida. Who else did you mention, Norbz, in our division?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yep. Pittsburgh.
This is the reason why I'm going to go out there. I'm always going to have to be the sour sport controversial guy on our show between us three, me, you, and Britt, Norbz. So let's say it. We're getting bounced out of the first round again this year. This is the reason why. This is the reason why, Leafs Nation, we're going to get bounced out of the first round again this year.
Here comes the comments.
No, I mean, let's be honest. Like, we haven't won a cup since 1967. We haven't gotten out of the first round till last year. Was that a decade later? Or 2 decades until we got out of the first round? And it's not even our boys' fault. It's not even the Leafs' fault. We got her stacked. But we end up playing these powerhouse teams. I would love Edmonton or Calgary or Winnipeg or Vancouver to shift over in our position. I think Vancouver would be the only team that could do it right now. I guarantee Edmonton, Calgary, and Winnipeg would have problems if we switched. And we'd be in the Stanley Cup Finals. It is ridiculous. We're cursed. We can't get out of it because we're up against Stanley Cup finalists in the first round. And I don't want to sound like a sour sport, guys, but unless I'm going to drive Norbz and everyone nuts with this again. Norbz knows what's coming. Unless we get number 97 in the Leafs jersey from Edmonton, which now really looks bleak. Very bleak right now. It was better in the beginning of the season when the Oilers were on a 10-game losing streak, but looks really bleak right now. Unless we get Connor McDavid to the Leafs, I don't even see us getting past the first round. And I love our boys. Not even their fault. Like Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Tavares are so great. Future Hall of Fame. Not their fault. We're just in a tough division, Norbz. And that's why it's unfortunate. It's nobody's fault. Like, we're stacked. Like, Tree Living's doing the best he can. We can't get by the first round because we're in a stacked division. And I'm just being realistic, guys. Like, it's nobody's fault. I'm not blaming the Leafs players. I'm not blaming Matthews, Marner, Tavares, or Nylander in the team, or Tree Living, or Shanahan. It's a stacked division. So, yes, Norbz, we're getting bounced out of the first year again this year. But I'll leave the floor to you to end this. Go ahead.
Well, you're entitled to your own views, and as much as the fans.
Look, us 2 decades to get out of the first round. Normally entitled to my own views. Yeah. We all know what's going to happen.
That's some of the views that's out there. I know you're right. It's a stacked division, but at the same time, those players that we have are still very talented. If they have to get the job done.
I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming our boys.
They got to improve on the defense, I would say. If let's say, I'd say if the defense doesn't improve, because they're tied for 18th right now in goals against, 14th in shots on goal. Yeah, 22nd on penalty kill. That's like one of the. That's a really bad stat, and 16th in penalty minutes. If they don't improve the defensive stats in the playoffs, yeah, you're right. The Leafs could get bounced out of the first round, just like all the last several years. And I mean, last year we were fortunate enough to move to the second round because they played hard. They played their hardest, right, to get to the second round and face the I believe the Panthers. Is it what was their opponent? Yeah, like that's the view from some of the Leafs fans out there, and that's perfectly plausible. It could happen. It could not. But I'm saying that, like, defense was their challenge all year. So if they can't improve on that, which is, like, one of that's the hurdle for them right now. It's defense, and they need defense. Yeah, if they can't improve on that, come playoff time, yes, they could get bounced out of the playoffs. Even though Nylander and Matthews and Marner are performing well, because they are the core to deliver the production, but the defense have to do their job as well in front of Samsonov. So yeah, it's entirely, it could happen, but let's not cross that bridge until we get there. Just have some optimism. Just have some optimism.
Oh, no, I'm not going to disagree. I love it. We got to keep positive, but I mean, 10 years of this, moving to Toronto 12 years ago, 12 straight years of this. I don't know how all of you guys dealt with this for like 4 or 5 decades. Anyways, we're over the time limit. We're going to talk more about the Leafs playoffs next episode, right, Norbster? Great job again, Norbz. I have a Raptors mug in the Leafs segment, my fault. But there you go. Show up the tea mug one more time. There you go. Norbz has it. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. Another great episode of Tea Time with Tommy, the Norbster, Tommy Lee, and Britt in beautiful San Francisco, signing out.
On another note, please like and subscribe our podcast, Tea Time with Tommy, or else Tommy will throw tea at you.